What's going on, guys? So happy to have you back on my YouTube channel. If you're somebody that is looking to buy a new iPad or a new tablet, I have the video for you. This video is going to be a 2021 iPad buyer's guide. I'm going to be talking about all of your options. I'm going to be giving my suggestions on which iPad you should buy depending on who you are, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a comparison between the iPads so that you can make an informed choice and choose the best one. Two things before I get into the video. One, make sure to be subscribed. You'll be able to see my content. I make a lot of content on iPad and tech products. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. Also, number two is I do giveaways, which I have a giveaway that will be announced in this video. So stay tuned. I'm going to be announcing the giveaway of some free AirTags. Make sure to subscribe to take part in any future giveaways as well. Let's start off with the most recent iPad. That is the 2021 iPad Pro. This new iPad comes in at $799, but it goes all the way up to $2,399. So this is definitely the most expensive of the bunch, but of course you get the most features. What are those features? You get the XDR liquid retina display, you get Pro Motion, you get quad speakers, you get a USB-C port, you get better external display support, and the M1 chip. Now, the biggest competitor to the iPad Pro 2021 is the iPad Air 4, which I'm gonna be talking about later in this video. Or even the iPad Pro 2020, which is still a good alternative to the 2021 iPad Pro, especially if you get it for a good reduced price. So compared to the iPad Air 4, both have USB-C, both are similar in size if you're looking at the 11-inch version, and both support the Magic Keyboard. But the Pro is a lot better than the Air 4 in my opinion, because you get Face ID, you get Pro Motion, and you get the M1 chip, which is way more powerful than the A14 chip that's currently in the iPad Air 4. Who exactly is the iPad Pro for? The iPad Pro is for digital artists or creatives that can take advantage of the bigger screen. So if you draw a lot or make a lot of digital products, then you're definitely going to want the iPad Pro because it has a 12.9-inch display with vibrant colors. It just looks good, plus again, Pro Motion. Also, it's really good for photo and video editors just because the display can get plenty bright, up to 1000 nits brightness. If you're going to be editing photos, it'll go up to 1000. That's really good. A lot of photographers know you need the most brightness when editing photos. The iPad Pro is also good for gamers, so anybody that enjoys doing mobile gaming because you couldn't get your hands on a PS5, you might want to look at the iPad Pro as well. Just because of the M1 chip, you know that you're doing heavy duty tasks, you're going to want to look for the iPad Pro 2021 or even the 2020. Let's move on to the iPad 8th gen. And I apologize if I call this the basic iPad. I just mean that it's just the base iPad. So this iPad comes in at $329. And that's really cheap. It's a good entryway into the tablet market. At that price, you get an A12 Bionic chip. You get smart keyboard support, the Apple Pencil support, Touch ID, and a 10.2-inch display. Now, what don't you get if you were to go for the basic or 8th gen iPad? You don't get USB-C, you don't get Pro Motion, you get a bit of an older design, so you don't really have the modern design of the Air 4 or the Pro, and you don't really get great speakers. They're still okay, but if you compare them to the newer iPads, the speakers on those things are really good. Who is the base iPad for? If you're a student, you need a tablet to print to class, to take notes, or to do your readings, or just watching Netflix between classes or when you have some free time. If you have any free time, I know I didn't. You might want to go for the basic iPad just because it's really cheap on a student budget and it can do a lot of things that a student might need to do. Other than that though, it'd be good for a young child. I know a lot of parents are going to relate to this, but if you have a young child, sometimes if they're crying or doing whatever, you might give them an iPad to calm them down. And at just $329, this will be really good. You could put a nice child-proof case on it and let your kid play with it. Also, I'd recommend it for people in general that have basic needs, such as just shopping on the internet, doing light emailing, watching Netflix, or just everyday tasks that you don't really need more power for. And like I said, starting at $329, this is the best bang for your buck if you're looking at tablets. Okay, let's move on to the iPad mini. This is a little bit of a different kind of device. I mean, it's the smallest device in Apple's lineup. It comes in at $399, so that's a bit more expensive than the basic iPad that I just spoke about. But for that price, you get the same A12 Bionic chip found in the basic iPad. It has a 7.9-inch Retina display, Apple Pencil support, Touch ID, and it can literally fit in your jacket pocket. What don't you get for this price? You don't get the Smart Keyboard support or the Magic Keyboard support. Again, you don't get USB-C, you don't get the new modern design of the new iPads, and you don't get a big screen, which is the biggest downside of this depending on how you look at it. It's not really optimal for watching movies or reading. You might want a bigger size for doing all of that. So who is the iPad mini for? It's for people that are on the go and need a computer or a tablet right in their pocket. You don't want to carry around a bigger iPad. You might want to go for the iPad mini. And it's also for, okay, I can't really think of many more people that will need it besides somebody that just needs a smaller size. It's more expensive than the iPad 8, so you're a lot better going off with that unless you absolutely need the smaller size. Also, I just wouldn't recommend this in general to buy it right now, just because I feel like Apple is going to update that really soon, maybe in the fall perhaps, and it hopefully will have a more modern design, a slightly bigger display, and some better features. And last but not least, definitely not least, is the iPad Air 4. This one comes in at $599 for the 64 gig version. And with that, you get a 10.9-inch Retina display, a similar design to the iPad Pro, Touch ID to unlock it, A14 Bionic chip that is plenty powerful, the Apple Pencil support, Magic Keyboard support, and you get some fun colors. Like really, the pastel colors are kind of cool. I wouldn't buy it. I'd still go with silver and black, but it might be your forte. A similar theme to what I've mentioned in the previous iPads is, of course, you don't get Pro Motion that you get on the iPad Pro. You also don't get quad speakers. You don't get that M1 chip, and you don't get the studio microphones and more that you can find on the iPad Pro, which again, biggest competitor. So if I'm gonna be honest, this iPad never really impressed me because I felt like the base model coming in at 64 gigs is a little bit of a robbery. While it does have cool specs and a similar design to the Pro, I wouldn't really recommend going for 64 gigs on a device. I'd recommend 128 gigs at least. And then when you go to 128 gigs, it's only $20 difference between the iPad Air 4 and the iPad Pro M1. So you might as well buy the M1 Pro unless you really need that extra storage space, which if you do, you're probably gonna go with a Pro instead. But I do recommend this for people that can handle 64 gigs. Okay, so that wraps up this video. If you liked the content in this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. What do you think about the video in general? Drop a comment below. I'm kind of curious about what iPad you're planning to go with. Just let me know down below. I make sure to respond to all my comments that I can. Before I do send you off on your way to buy a new iPad, I'm going to announce the winner of the AirTags giveaway. So if you see your name on the screen, congratulations. Reach out to me in the next 48 hours. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.